Hey guys, so as a big fan and lover of the 2015 Marvel Netflix Daredevil series, I thought it was about time I watched the 2003 Daredevil movie starring Ben Affleck as Daredevil and Jennifer Garner as Elektra, which has a rating of 5.3 out of 10 on IMDb and 43% on Rotten Tomatoes. And well, I watched it, and after watching it, I knew I had to give you my review on it with spoilers. So if you guys are actually thinking about watching the movie, then stay away from this and come back. So here's my spoiler review. And I'm just going to get straight into it because I've got so much to talk about. I've written like so
Uh,
many points and stuff because there's just so much. But yeah,
oh,
please give this video a like and subscribe. Right, there's just so much, and I'm not gonna go in any specific order because
yeah,
it just came into my head and I just wrote it and then I just like so much.
yeah. We're
So
gonna
one
be
of the
all
first
day.
thing, oh yeah, I forgot to say, Grace has watched clips of it, but she hasn't watched the whole thing. So
Yeah,
I
we're
guess
gonna
at
be
the end, we'll see whether she's planning on watching it or not, or whether I've put her fully off.
maybe.
Because you've watched all 3 seasons now of Daredevil,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Yeah,
great. Yeah.
yeah, it was really good.
Um.
So yeah, the first thing that I noticed was like when Electra came, was her eyes were just so green, like they were not like natural green. They were like so fake green. Like you know what? It's like if any of you guys have watched like the Scooby Doo movie, I think it came out in like 2002. Like Shaggy's girlfriend had like these really green eyes. Like it looked like that. Like I just couldn't understand it. Like I get like in the comics, like she has green eyes, but these just looked so unnatural. I just couldn't understand like why do they do that? But yeah, anyway, that was just one thing I noticed, and I was like, what on earth? But yeah, the whole movie was funny. And I'm not talking about like a good funny. I'm talking about like a, oh my God, this is so cringe. Like some of the scenes were just, yeah, it was, it was just,
Uh,
it was bad. It was
yeah, I got.
terrible.
I remember seeing a clip of like Daredevil versus Elektra in a park, I think, and the fighting did look a very slow and very
Oh,
cheesy.
I think I'm gonna bring that up in a second sometime.
Okay,
I don't
yeah,
know.
continue.
So I think first of all, I want to talk about Ben Affleck as Daredevil slash Matt Murdock. So I think he actually did an okay Matt Murdock. Like he wasn't bad. I mean, he wasn't great. Like I just can't compare him to Charlie Cox because Charlie Cox was just like he's just like amazing.
It's
Thanks,
true.
Grace. Thanks, Grace.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Grace. But yeah, he did an okay Matt Murdock. But as Daredevil, he just some of his scenes are like it just made me laugh. And I couldn't understand because he was such a douche in this whole movie. Like when he first met Elektra, like it didn't seem like as if, he was even trying to keep his identity of Daredevil a secret, which is something really important to like a lot of Marvel characters like Spider-Man and like Daredevil. Like they don't want their identity like known to the world. And I couldn't understand like why he just like straight away sort of like hinted that, he's got these really amazing like abilities and just made it so obvious. I just couldn't understand it. Yeah, so I'm well, maybe it is comic accurate. I don't know. I haven't read the comics, but I really like the series like tick, and this one's like a no for Daredevil portrayal for sure. Yeah, so I couldn't understand because Daredevil has this policy, right? And we
Mhm.
really saw this played out in season 2 of the series. So we see that debate between him and the Punisher. And we see that the Punisher is always just like kill, kill, kill. Like he's like, if he's a bad guy, he deserves death. I'm gonna do it. Whereas Daredevil is sort of like, let the justice system deal with it. Like I'll capture him, but I'm not gonna do any bodily harm. Like I'm not gonna kill him. Not bodily harm, I mean kill him. And he actually does kill someone. Like he okay, so he sort of didn't kill him, but he sort of did, and it's not really daredevilish.
Yeah.
So we see it right at the beginning. So he's doing this trial, and this rapist goes free, and he's like angry, and rightly so. Like But yeah, we're not going to get into that. But yeah, so he dresses up as Daredevil and he goes and fights him and he chucks him over into the train tracks and he just leaves him there and he gets run over by the train.
Jinx.
So it's not really Daredevil. It's not like him. I get like he felt like, you know, this guy was like a really bad guy, but it's not like Daredevil. Daredevil's all about letting the justice system like work. I mean, he's a lawyer, for God's sake. So I couldn't understand that. Another thing I couldn't understand was like, where was Stick? Like Stick plays such a big part for Elektra and Daredevil. And actually, I think Stick actually comes into the Elektra movie. I haven't watched that, but I'll get into that a bit later. But yeah, so where was Stick? And I literally, I didn't even realize it was Karen Page. We saw her for a second and that was it. And like Foggy, we barely even got to see him too. But yeah, I'm going to get into Foggy a little bit later because I've got a little bit more to say. But yeah, in terms of the costume.
Is that the guy played by Jon Favreau?
Yeah. No, like he's an amazing actor, but I just feel like the script was just rubbish. Like it just didn't portray these characters really well. And the costume, Daredevil's costume looked absolutely horrible. Like it's not one of the worst costumes I've seen. But when you compare it to Charlie Cox's costume from the Marvel Netflix show, you're like, that's definitely rubbish. And it just took too long for the movie to get anywhere. Like I get that they needed to, you know, for people who don't know the backstory and stuff, like people like me who didn't actually know it like before. Like I get that they needed to like tell us like how did Matt get these, like how did he go blind, like how is he like this super ninja and all that. But it just took forever. And it just wasn't very captivating. Like I wasn't like, oh my God, I feel so bad for Matt and stuff. But like, it just, you know what? One of the thoughts I was thinking like while I was watching the movie was that it felt like they were trying to copy the original Spider-Man movie. Like there are some scenes that made me feel like they were trying to like get that sort of same essence, but it didn't work. Like for example, like when Daredevil, like they show it in this one, like they don't show it in the series, but they show like, you know, how like when he's like holds Elektra in his hands, and like when it's raining, like that scene, he can like actually like sort of picture hair. Like they show that, and it sort of reminds me of something like in Spider-Man's Spidey senses that we get to see in the original Spider-Man movie, which is really epic. But in this, it just looked so weird.
Yeah.
Right. I got to talk about Bullseye. He made me laugh. He looked ridiculous. And I couldn't understand this again. Like, there's just so much stuff I just couldn't understand because it just doesn't seem like their character. So we get that fight between him and Daredevil. And he gets shot, like not by Daredevil. He gets shot through his hands, like both hands. And he literally is like, please spare me. And I was like, that's not Bullseye. Bullseye doesn't do that. Like, show me mercy. Like all of that. Like, what kind of villain is that? Like, it just made me laugh. I just couldn't stop. There's so many times in this movie I just had to like pause it because I just couldn't stop laughing. And so we get that origin story from Matt Murdock and how he became Daredevil, but we don't get that origin story on Fisk and Bullseye and how they became who they are, and also how they actually started working together. I mean, actually, Bullseye working for Fisk actually is probably more accurate. Like, it just made no sense. Like, they barely touch on why Fisk is a villain, which, you know, you need because, like, we see Green Goblin, like, we get to actually see, like, what happened. And that was so good. That is why I think the Spider-Man movies, the original, like, just so good. Yeah, so just moving on, like, I touched on, like it was too slow and stuff, but it really felt like it was lacking a plot. It was just so messy. Like I feel like the plot only got introduced like an hour into the movie and just about when it was about to finish. And the plot was that Elektra's dad got killed by Fisk. And that was it. And it was about getting a revenge and them sort of like teaming up, sort of, but not really. And that was it. I'll tell you what, there was one scene in this, and I've actually read a few reviews, and people were saying that was rubbish, but I quite enjoyed it. There was that scene of like when Elektra's training, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm actually interested to know like if you guys thought that was cool as well, whether you thought that was just weird. Maybe you guys thought it was weird. But yeah, I told you I was going to go back to Foggy. So Foggy is supposed to be like Matt's best friend. And we really do get to see that in the TV series, don't we? Like we get to see them. Like I remember that avocados thing. Like there was that joke, and that was really funny. But in here, it felt like in this one they actually do work together, and Nelson and Murdoch, they're both lawyers. But I didn't get that feeling like they were like proper friends. Like in fact, I sort of found Foggy a little annoying, even though we barely got to see him. But yeah, talking about all these rubbish characters and all these rubbish portrayals, I think one of the best characters, like I think they did them really good. I just feel like they were missing that development was for Fisk, Kingpin. Like he was really scary, and I feel like he played him really well, the actor. I'm not really sure who the actor was, I can't remember. But he was really good. But we barely got to see him for such a big villain. We barely got to see him. Like
That is disappointing.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I haven't seen the film, but I know the actor. The only film I know him from was called The Green Mile, and he did really well actually, because he portrayed like as a scary guy, but he's actually quite a softie. And this film, I could see him like throwing Daredevil across the room. He just looks super strong. Really, he's like the Thing, in a way.
He would make a really good Thing.
Yeah,
I think he would.
Yeah.
But yeah, in this series, in this series, we get to see like Daredevil, like Grace, you can vouch for it, right? No matter how many times people like slash him or like wound him or hurt him or anything, like he keeps fighting and going. And that's actually one of the things I really liked about the Punisher too. But in this one, he gets stabbed by Elektra's blade, like over here somewhere. And like that's it. He doesn't get up. He doesn't try and fight. He doesn't try to save Elektra or anything. I'm like, even if that was me, I'm sure I would at least try. He just literally just lay there. I was like, that doesn't even seem like Daredevil. There's just so much inconsistency with Daredevil's character. And I don't know whether the Netflix TV series, like they were just going off comic book, like it wasn't accurate at all. But I really just feel like it was this one. Like this one just really had Daredevil. Daredevil wasn't Daredevil. Daredevil was some idiot. Putting it lightly. But yeah, it was nothing like the series Daredevil. Like I can't make any comparison. The only comparison is that they were both lawyers.
Can I ask you something? Say like you didn't watch the TV show, but you watched the film first. Would you consider watching the show? Like, would you not, thinking like it would be something similar to the film?
I probably wouldn't watch the show. If I watched this first, I probably would have put it off in the first 10 minutes, which I originally did. Like this is my second time watching it. Like the first time I watched it for like 10 minutes and I was like, this is just actually rubbish. But I was like, okay, maybe I should give it a chance. But yeah, definitely if I watch this, I would put it off in like 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, and I would be like, oh, this 2015 series is probably just gonna be rubbish. Like Daredevil just seems like an idiot. And that would have been a big shame. So that's actually a good point, Grace. Anybody who's actually who's been put off by the movie, like that's good news because it is awful. But watch the series.
Because I seen the clips of the film first before Daredevil was released and all that, and I it rings a bell to me when I first heard of the title, and I was a little bit concerned about like if it's going to be the same but it looked actually better visually, and I didn't start watching it until you kind of convinced me to watch it because I wasn't really a big Marvel fan then. But yeah, definitely guys, if you've seen the film first, forget the film, watch the TV show because it's
definitely not. I mean, it's good for the people who really actually, because there are quite a few people who actually really do like the movie, and I really don't
Yeah, I
understand
mean,
that, but fair enough.
it does have a great cast in it. I just didn't, because from what you said and what I've seen ish, it just didn't feel like it had a great like amount of effort in it
Yeah.
as a film. I mean, TV show.
Yeah, it felt like a low budget sort of thing.
Mm.
Yeah, so like I said before, like the whole movie was just a laugh for me. It just felt like I was watching something, but it just was like it was like a low budget version of it. And it was actually quite funny, like comparing it to this series, which like I said before, like it's like one of my favorites. Like it's like one of the best things around. Like you guys should definitely watch it if you haven't watched it, and if you have watched it, watch it again, like I did. Like Grace hasn't got around to watching it again, but I'm sure at some point you probably
No,
will
I
watch it
probably
again.
won't watch it. I just don't feel like it's not gonna make an impact in later films or something.
What,
Unless
the Daredevil series?
no. I mean the film.
Oh
Sorry,
no,
but
I'm talking
definitely
about
the
the
series.
Daredevil series. You'd watch it
Oh,
again,
sorry.
right?
Yeah, definitely watch it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Like
yeah.
I don't know. It's sort of like there just was no comparison. There should be a comparison. There should be something similar. Like for example, take the original Spider-Man versus the Homecoming Spider-Man. Like they're both Spider-Man, but they are
Mm,
still very similar. Like they wear a mask, they save
yeah,
people, they're brainy, they want to keep their identity like hidden. Like Grace, like
yeah,
chip in here, like
yeah.
what is similar
Yeah,
about them?
and the personality is the same, isn't it? Because they're not
Yeah.
like compare like what you said about the film Daredevil and the TV show. The film version is like does like justice in his own way. Like he doesn't mind killing people compared to Daredevil TV show. He's like Batman. He's got a code. He's got his own like moral compass. He
Mm.
knows like what's wrong and what's right. Because like you said, he's a lawyer. He knows justice. He knows like how the justice system will work through this for like
Yeah.
murderers and all that. So yeah, I mean, mm,
Yeah. It was a
if
big
you won't be,
struggle
yeah,
seeing
it's quite a struggle
similarities.
thinking about
Yeah.
whether to watch the film or not.
Yeah, I would definitely not watch it.
Mm.
But yeah, right. Well, that's my review of the 2003 Daredevil movie with a comparison of the very successful and very much loved here at the channel. Well, between me and Grace, the other two haven't watched it yet. Of the very successful 2015 Daredevil TV series. So make sure to check out actually our reaction of the Marvel Netflix shows, or as they're actually now called on Disney Plus, the Defenders saga, whatever one you prefer calling them, where we actually went through all of the shows and we actually gave our thoughts on our favorite episodes and much more. So definitely check that out if you haven't and you're a massive fan of all of those shows. And drop us a comment down below with your thoughts on the Daredevil movie and if you liked it, why. Because I'd
Yeah,
really actually love to know like
yeah.
why
It'll
you
be great if
actually,
we hear your views
yeah,
on if you've seen the film, definitely.
yeah. Like, was it better than the 2015 Daredevil series? And
Yeah,
also, I'd actually love to know whether you'd like me to watch the 2005 Elektra movie, and you'd like my review on it, because I think I might give it a go, because I really do like Jennifer Garner. She seems like an amazing
yeah, she's a great
person and
actress.
actress. Yeah, but yeah, and yeah, actually give me a like for this video if you actually want me to do that, or even just watch it or something. Like that's the way to let me know, and also drop a comment down below. But yeah, please subscribe and hit the notification bell to be alerted when our new videos come out. And well, that's it for today. So bye.
Bye.